Hello friends and welcome to Knowledge by Nature. In today's video, I kind of wanted to give you a walkthrough and a sample lesson, I guess you could say, of what the roller coaster rider looks like. A lot of times the three major things that we want to teach our littlest ones are reading, writing, and math. And so I thought that I would do a more detailed view on this roller coaster rider because handwriting is something that is very important to a lot of us. I came across this program that is made by Half-A-Hundred-Acre Wood, and so I wanted to give you guys a little view of this today, show you what it's all about, and maybe you would be interested in skipping printing and going straight to cursive and then maybe coming back. So before we get started, give me a thumbs up if you like this video and click that subscribe button. I'm a homeschool mom to a first grader, and I'm a lover of all things homeschool, books, and my first grader. So I hope that you enjoy this, and I hope that it is helpful for you. We, for preschool and for kindergarten, worked on printing, but printing just did not work for us. She's very good at the printing, and I'll show you that in a moment, but she didn't like to do it. And so that's why I started researching cursive, because she kept asking me to do swirly. And I found this program, and so I wanted to show it to you. In addition to the program, I'm going to show you what we utilize for handwriting also, because we go beyond just what's here. When you purchase the program, you get the Introduction to Cursive. This is the first one, and it's called Hills, Ramps, Drops, Loops, and Curves, and it's kind of the beginning steps. And so this is going to be your teacher's manual, and it's going to be the workbook all in one. So at the beginning, it kind of tells you everything that you need to do, the things that it comes with as far as all of these cards, how you're going to use these cards, and then we have lowercase letters and uppercase letters. Kind of goes into the formation of how she talks about making these letters, and she, of course, uses the terminology of a roller coaster, hence the name. Going along with the formation, we have all of these cards. And so I'm going to show you, I kind of have them sorted out because I leave them in a little basket, and I have them all like this. These were the initial cards that we used, which are like the beginning strokes. So the child is going to learn some of the more common strokes that are used with the cursive handwriting. And then we also have this little clock that represents the top line, midline, and baseline. And this is all terminology that you're going to use throughout the program. And then we have the cursive cards writing lowercase letters. And so you have, again, you have some instructions on the back of the main card, as well as instructions on the back of the individual letter. So this was the letter C. It says to climb the hill to midline, start drop, reverse, and curve around to baseline, and end just above baseline. And these are all numbered as well. This came in a big 8.5 by 11 sheet. You cut them out, and then you have them. You could laminate them if you wanted them to last longer, but for me, I just left them as they are because they are pretty good cardstock. Then we have the writing uppercase letters A to Z, and this isn't necessarily taught in A to Z. Like, for instance, for the capital letters, you start with kind of the ones that start at the beginning that have the same beginning swoop. We did D, G, Q, C. Those are the ones that you kind of start with. So here's the uppercase. Then we have the book face print cards. So this is where you're going to show them, okay, this is how we read it. This is how we write it. And then in the last section, we have the writing the numerals, which the numerals are not too different from just your regular numbers, but they are in there as well. So let's get back into the workbook. The good thing about all of this is that you're kind of building this foundation of this reverse and curve, roll away, bounce up. You have these different terminologies that make it easier for the child to learn to write also, which I really enjoy. So it has all the letter formation here, And as you can see, we have climb, hill, and hold, climb, hill, and drop, short loop letters, tall loop letters, short ramp letters, tall ramp letters. I just really enjoy the way that it's described, and it makes it a little bit easier for when we're talking like, nope, you need to roll away. Then we have our uppercase letter formations. We have the numbers down here at the bottom, and then we have our first strokes. And so that's where you would come in with these cards, and we would like trace it with our finger. And then I also utilize this Pocket Pro sheet. So I have one of the blank cards in here that come with it, and then I would put whatever we were working on for the day. So at the very beginning, we used our salt box a lot. And I don't know if you've ever seen me talk about this before, but all it is a little craft box filled with salt. And when we begin a letter or a formation, we would start with maybe our finger, and we would start like that. And then once she felt really comfortable with that, we could move on to, and this is just a little chopstick, you could use whatever. We would move on to this, and then she could do the stroke like that. Once she felt really comfortable with this, and this isn't necessarily all in one day. We might have just done the salt box one day. We went really slowly with this program. Then we would come over and we would trace it with our finger. Then we would trace it with the marker. And then when she felt really good, we would go ahead and we would come over and we would write it on the little protective sheet. So there's many steps that you could take before you ever actually get into the workbook. And then that way you're just building a very good confidence before you just go straight into the workbook. If you have a perfectionist that doesn't want to mess up the paper, these are great options, the salt box and the dry erase options. That way it's a simple erase procedure. It's done. If there was a boo-boo, it never happened. In addition, I also have this Learn to Letter raised ruling sheets, and this is really nice for using with handwriting. It has a nice space in it, and you also have like this raised feel, so she can feel the top line, the midline, and the bottom line, and that just helps, I think, a little bit with feeling exactly where you might stop, because it's kind of got that bump to it. And I got this at Target a few years back, and it has 40 sheets in it, and so it's just really nice to do. So if you've done this section and you're ready to go on to the workbook, then you would come to the workbook, and I would have her trace the lines that were in the workbook. Then if she felt good, she could come over and she could start doing it herself. So again, this isn't something that we're rushing, and that could be one of the reasons that she's enjoying cursive so much more too. I may have rushed print a little bit more, I'm not sure, but I would definitely suggest, if you have a writer that is hesitant to write, maybe slow down and try some of these other alternatives as well. So you go through all of the strokes, and then you get to the lowercase letters. So I will go ahead and show you another quick flip through, and then in a moment I'll have her come in and we'll actually do as we would normally. And so we have our lowercase letters, where we're going to start with the climb, the hill, and hold, which is we see the A, D, G, Q. And then we have the climb, hill, and drop letters, which are C, M, N, O, V, X, Y, Z. So this is where I'm saying that we are not going in alphabetical order for the lowercase letters. We're going in the order of the way that the letters are made. So just as with the strokes, we would, if she wanted to do the salt box, if she wanted to start with the salt box, that's what we would do. We would always do this before we came to this. So we would even take our finger, we would trace this because it is larger than the actual card. Let me grab that for you. So here are the writing cards. So you can see that the actual card is smaller than the letter that's here. So we just kind of start big and go down. And so we would trace this with our finger a little while, kind of move up, swoop down, come up. We would do that quite a few times. We might even just get our pencil, and we use this pencil a lot right here. It is Papermate Handwriting. It's a mechanical pencil, but I don't know if you can see, it's like a triangle, and it's quite a bit wider than a normal pencil too. So for young writers, I think it's nice to have a thicker pencil, but she does do really well with a normal pencil too. But with handwriting, most of the time we're pulling this out. And so since it's a mechanical pencil, we can push the lead in there and we can practice tracing with our pencil. And again, you would want to practice holding the pencil properly too. Then after we've done that, we come over and we trace the card. After we've traced the card inside our protective sheet, then we come to the workbook. And then I would have her trace these, and then when she was ready, we would write it. As you can see, every day we don't always finish, and that's okay. If she's not ready to finish it for the day, we do go ahead and go on, and it's something that we can come back on a different day, or even a day that maybe we're not going to introduce a new letter. I'll be like, hey, come back and finish your A. And then there are days where I hand her this sheet, and these are the letters that we have worked on up to this point. And so I just ask her to write me an A, D, G, Q, C. And so I just have her write me these things. And then as we go forward, we'll kind of leave some of them off. And that way we're getting some practice. As you can see here, she can definitely print, and it's pretty decent print, but it's just something that she does not enjoy as much, and she's ready to be able to do all of her spelling as cursive, but it is taking a little bit of time to go through all of our cursive letters because we are taking our time with it. You can order this from Half-A-Hundred-Acre-Wood.com right there. She had really fast shipment. I got it fairly quickly after I ordered it. It was nicely packaged, and then you get all of these cards, and so you will need to cut those all out. But I highly recommend this cursive program. I really liked it. I like the way that it's taught, and it's one of those things of you go at your own speed. So after you finish the lowercase letters, you come up into the uppercase letters. And then after that, you come to the numerals, and then you're done. And once you are completely finished with the roller coaster writer, the introduction to cursive, there is a second set. I believe that it is called the Script and Scribe letter connector. And that is again by the Half-A-Hundred-Acre Wood. So now I'm just going to show you what it would look like for me and her sitting down and doing this. And we actually are. We're going to be working on the letter M. So stick around and you can see how we do this. All right, so today's letter that we're going to be working on is this letter.
M.
So this is how we read the letter M.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we write the letter M. See the difference?
Mm-hmm. How we used to write the letter M.
Mm-hmm. So when we're printing and we're reading, this is what the M looks like. And when we're writing in our cursive, this is what the M looks like. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to trace with your finger the letter M. So you're going to climb the hill to midline and drop straight down to baseline, bounce back up to midline, drop straight down to baseline, bounce back up to midline, drop down, and roll away. Very good.
Like a bouncy ball.
It is like a bouncy ball, isn't it? So let's try that again. Go ahead and climb the hill to midline, drop straight down to baseline, bounce back up to midline, drop down, bounce up, drop and roll away. Good job. Would you like to try with the salt?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So I'm just going to first try it with your finger. And what we'll do is we'll just kind of do two little lines there. So try to get your M in between those lines. So you're going to up and down, bounce up and down, bounce up. All right, the M's kind of big. It's kind of hard to get it in there, isn't it? So up, bounce down. Yep. All right. You want to try it with the chopstick this time?
Maybe I'll go a little smaller.
Good job. Very good.
Still a little too big.
It is a little too big, but that's okay.
My hands.
All right, so here I put the blank card in with the top, mid, and bottom line, and then we have the M in our protective sheet. So what I'd like you to do is take your marker and trace. All right, now trace. Very good, very good. You want to try it one more time?
This.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop, whoop. Fall down, bounce.
Roll
down.
away. Good job. Now, let's try it over there. So we're going to go up, fall down, bounce back up to midline. Oh, hold on. Nope.
Alright.
We picked up our marker, so let's go ahead and let's try that one more time.
Pencil.
No, it's a marker.
Well.
Okay, so go up to midline, fall down, bounce up, fall down, bounce up, fall down, and roll away. Good job. Very good job. Go ahead and try that again.
Here.
Up, fall down, bounce up, fall down, bounce up, fall down. Very good.
That doesn't look very good.
That looks fine. It's a good start to your M. All right, now we're going to go to the workbook. And what I want you to do is trace the first 2 lines.
Mm-hmm. And then try one by myself.
Mm-hmm. Good job. Good job. Perfect.
So don't go that.
Okay, now back up to the top. You want to see if you can do one by yourself?
Mm-hmm. I bet you're gonna like this one.
Very good job. Roll away. Roll away. That's okay. You just want to, let's try one more time. There you go. Now go ahead and let's trace it with our finger again. So you go up to midline, straight down, bounce up, straight down, bounce up, straight down, and roll away. Good job. Let's trace that one more time. I'm going to go ahead and try one more by yourself there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to go up, straight down, bounce up, straight down, bounce up, and roll away. There you go. Very nice. Very good. All right, so we might do just a little bit more for today, but we definitely won't finish this whole sheet. We will probably practice some more with our finger and just getting the motions and the movement down and just kind of practicing that along with our protective sheet here. And so tomorrow we will come back, we'll do the letter M again. We are hardly ever on one letter just one day. So it just kind of practices getting that down. It's not rushed. So this is a really, really beautiful program. If you liked it, definitely go check out Half-A-Hundred-Acre Wood. I've never ordered from them before, but I'm very happy with the quality. The cardstock is very nice. The binding is really nice, and overall, I just have nothing but positive things to say about this. So if you're having problems writing with your little one or even your older one, I would definitely suggest maybe this program and all the little resources that I use along with it, as far as the protective sheets, the salt box, and the raised paper is really helpful when you're working with handwriting. So if you enjoyed this video, again, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in our next one. Bye!